Check out Ramona's piece on the Milwaukee Bucks ownership subplot that could determine Giannis Antetokounmpo's future. Giannis has missed Milwaukee's last 3 games with a knee injury, but was seen working out pregame on Saturday. The Bucks are 7.5 games out of the play-in with just 12 to play. In addition, Shams has reported Giannis is resistant to being shut down for the season. He's listed as out tonight against the Clippers. So regardless of how this season plays out, Giannis could be entering his final season under contract with Milwaukee this summer. So, Ramona, you spoke to Bucks co-owners, Wes Edens and Jimmy Haslam. What did they say about Giannis's future?
Well, I think what was remarkable to me is that for the first time, we've got somebody in the Bucks ownership group saying, yeah, we could trade him. And Wes Edens essentially said, look, he's going into the final year of his contract, so one of 2 things will happen. He'll either be extended or he'll be traded. And that was, to me, my eyes opened wider when he said that, because there's been this idea that yes, they had discussions about him in the past, and yes, they gauged the market on him, but there was at least from teams that I spoke to who were engaged in those discussions, it didn't seem like the Bucks were all that serious about trading Giannis during this past season. They listened on offers, but the Warriors threw 4 unprotected firsts at them, and they didn't really gain much traction. Miami made a strong offer, and Minnesota made strong offers, but there wasn't the sense that they wanted to move forward. And a lot of the teams that I spoke to said, we're not exactly sure which owner is calling the shots here. There's Wes Edens has the controlling ownership, but Jimmy Haslam is also in the picture here. He'll take over as the controlling owner in 2 years, and Jimmy Haslam, at least in one case, engaged in direct conversations with another owner in this conversation. So who's making the call here? Is it the guy who is running the team now, or is it the guy who's going to run the team in a couple of years? And I think the sense is, yeah, they sat in a room with me together for 90 minutes. They said they're going to make the decision together. You got to take them at their word. And the fact that they said he'll either be extended or be traded, I think there was some clarity put forth in that conversation.
You know, I'm looking forward to the draft lottery as we can keep preaching and preaching. Mm-hmm. This is a unique and amazing and potentially historic draft.
Yeah.
And depending on how things play out, and like Tim knows with Dallas or, you know, Spurs jumping up, like you never know how things play out. But I think after the draft lottery airs out, perhaps there's a team that's in that top 3 or 4 that could be an interesting team from a competitive standpoint that may, you know, couldn't be able to, at that point, make a play to the Bucks to like, hey, we got somebody that's a lifetime changer for your franchise. How about Giannis for him?
Well, and the Bucks have to do what's best for the Bucks. They've been trying for years and years and years to do whatever Giannis wanted, whatever they thought Giannis wanted this last summer. Anything possible to try to cling to the hope that they could win or contend for another championship with Giannis, which that's not happening. And so it's time for everybody to turn the page, and Giannis doesn't want to ask for a trade. He doesn't want to demand a trade. Milwaukee, you got to move the guy. You've got to give yourself
protect the franchise.
Right, exactly. And look, they've dug themselves into purgatory, trying desperately to give Giannis another chance to compete for a championship in Milwaukee. There's no shame in failing to do that. That banner that he put up there will hang forever. But it's time for both sides to move on, and the Bucks don't have to let Giannis dictate where he goes.
What's interesting is the timing here, though.
Wait, but let me follow up on that real quick. So, because I assumed because he's only got 1 year left on the deal, he could have more control.
It's up to whoever's trading for him to determine whether they want to take that risk, okay? Yeah. Listen, Donovan Mitchell wanted to go to the New York Knicks. He got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He ended up signing an extension with Cleveland.
Dame Lillard, Miami.
Exactly. I mean, exactly. The Bucks have lived on the other side of that. And so it's not up to the Bucks to do whatever Giannis wants. Now, can Giannis and his agent maybe influence what the marketplace is? They can try. Yeah. But if there's a team willing to take the risk of, hey, if we get Giannis here, we can get him to extend. It's what the Bucks have to do is get the best possible value.
I do wonder, like, going forward, do they think about this is the greatest player in our franchise's history? Maybe they treat him with different gloves than others have been treated.
Well, the timing of this is really interesting because they can't offer that extension until October.
Right.
So the transaction cycle you're mentioning in and around the draft, that's before October. Yeah. That's before he gives them the answer. And I think when you say, you know, he'll either extend or be traded because we can't afford to let him hit free agency, that timing is very interesting. Do they make that decision in and around the draft? before they have the answer on the extension? Does it depend on the offers? Does it depend on what he's saying to them before that? That's I think, something to watch as we go.
Well, I would assume Giannis' agent, right, will have conversations with these teams, and they'll have an inclination as to whether he'd resign, right?
Is it in the Bucks' best interest to extend them, even if he's willing?
No question.
That's a big question.
Do what? Compete to be a 10 seed again next year?
We saw how this went this year.
The asset. You need the asset.
You need to trade him this summer. That's what you need to do.
LeBron James was the guy that people said is the next Jordan. In my mind, I was like, this is the best player, so I have to be as good as this or look him in the eyes at some point.
Here comes Durant to the basket, launches and fires it down. The duel is on. Back and forth between the two best players in the NBA.
Top 3 player that ever played the game, just a natural born scorer.
Durant fires, bang!
I look at LeBron as somebody that's pushing me every single day.
That longevity has to mean something. That has to be a standard.
But you don't ever want to take it for granted when you're out there with the best that ever played this game.
That's cool stuff, man. The Hall of Fame is waiting for these two guys whenever they're done playing. Both LeBron James and Kevin Durant just notched 2 more incredible milestones. And before we take for granted what we're seeing on a nightly basis, let's take a look back at a weekend for the history books.
We've been in this league over 15 years plus. You know, for us to still be playing at this level, be able to wake up every single day and be able to still have the drive to want to be great, you know, to want to be legendary every single day, that's respected.
The stamina that you had to still be in the league for 20 years, to still get up to go to the gym at 6 a.m., to still want to put up 1,000 shots every day, to keep that joy and love for the game first is something that I admire, and that's what's keeping me going. So it's pretty cool knowing that we get respect from the younger generation, but they want to get up to where we are too. But we're still working, we're still here, we're still grinding, and we still want to be who we are for as long as we can.
From the Toyota Center here in Houston, Kevin Durant on the verge of some more history, just 26 points behind Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. Come on, from the beginning, let's take home court. Game on 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, let's go. Kevin Durant, punter! He's got 24! 1 to tie and 2 to pass Michael Jordan. To Durant in the corner, the 3. It's good! He's done it! He's done it! Kevin Durant has passed Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. LeBron, Kareem, Carl, Kobe, you've got company in the NBA all-time top 5. His name is Kevin Durant. 5.4 seconds remaining for Durant out at midcourt. With 4, with 3, right elbow, double clutches. Back iron, tap up, is up. That's it. Russell Thompson, and it's a game winner. Ahmed Thompson.
Man, it means a lot. I'm just grateful to do it here in front of a great fan base who showed me so much love. Man, what a journey it's been. I'm looking forward to keeping it going. Man, what a dramatic ending. We wouldn't want it any other way. Twin came through, saved the day. Man, what a finish.
How does it feel to be number 5?
Got to keep it going, baby. I want more. I want more.
I don't want to stop now. I don't. It's not my goal to pass anybody. If it happens, it happens. I'm going to go out there and play my game and enjoy being an NBA player for as long as I can. And we'll see what happens.
This evening, the Lakers take on the Orlando Magic. When LeBron steps on the floor and they throw the ball up, he will make history. More regular season games than anyone in the history of the game.
It was a regular prep day. I mean, I kept it the same as the previous, whatever, 1,600, whatever the record is. But I knew, you know, once I stepped on the floor and the game began that I was breaking the record.
Bain driving into the paint. Lakers stealing. LeBron on a breakaway. And here comes LeBron! open is LeBron. Down the middle he goes, laid up and in.
104-102 Orlando. 2 seconds left. Marcus Smart to bring it in. He got it into Kennard for 3 in the win. It's gone! It's over! Kennard is your hero! The Lakers win it on a Luke Kennard 3 with less than a second to go. How do you like them apples?
When I turned and saw who the ball was in his hands on a wide open 3, I pretty much knew it was cash.
Yes, sir! Hell yeah, Luke. Yeah, shooter. Breaking the record, that's a pretty cool thing. Best thing you can have for your teammates is availability. I've tried to be available throughout my career to my guys, and that's just a byproduct of it. See you later.
Yes, sir. Great stuff from the weekend. All right, you guys have covered these two for a long, long time. Ramona, I'll start with you. How much longer are we going to be able to watch these two guys?
I think a few years. I think LeBron might play another couple years. I think look how good he is. Well, you said that earlier. He leads the NBA in fast break points. He's 40 years old.
Yeah, it's wild.
What are we doing?
Who's counting?
I mean, yeah, 41 now. What do we do? Like, he can still play. And did you see Tom Brady out there throwing in the 3-on-3 tournament the other day? He can still play. He might play in the Olympics. Like, if you keep yourself in shape like LeBron does, I mean, his entire life and routine is dedicated towards making sure that he is available. I think he can still keep playing. The question is where. But if he's this good and the Lakers are playing like this, I wouldn't rule anything out.
You know, the other night in Houston, when LeBron had 30 points, 12 of 13 from the floor, 6 dunks, like 4 of them were absolute highlight reel finishes. KD, after the game, said, I'm not sure how long he wants to stick around, but I think he can play until he's 45 or so. And LeBron has said it's not about so much the physical. It's about the mental, the desire to keep preparing and keep doing all the things around the clock, around the calendar that are required to be able to do stuff like that at the age of 41. But again, since he has accepted this lesser role with the Lakers, he has been extremely effective and dominant in that role. And that makes me, a month ago, if you'd asked me, is LeBron back in LA next year? I would have said, no way, I can't see it. The Lakers have to move on. Now I would say, I can see it. Now, I don't know what the contract looks like. That's something for Rich Paul and Rob Pelinka and those folks to figure out. But you can't say that he doesn't fit anymore because it's fitting really well right now.
Hall of Famer, let me ask you this. We've talked about LeBron. What about KD? How much longer for KD do you think?
You know, if you would have asked me in 2019 during the finals in Toronto and seeing how that was one of the saddest games I've ever seen in my life, seeing him come down, I probably wouldn't have thought not much longer after that. And it's been incredible how he's been able to come back from the Achilles and other injuries, and now he don't get hurt at all. Like maybe he takes a game off.
For you.
Yeah, let me see. Okay, I got it. I think KD's certainly in the same thing, and he doesn't have to do as much as LeBron. His game is so effortless. He doesn't have to get hit as much. He doesn't have to go to the line as much. So I think KD's in the same boat where maybe when it's all said and done, it's LeBron number 1 in scoring and KD second.
Ooh, get all the way. That's a lot to get to Kareem there. I think he can get past Kobe, maybe to Karl. But one thing we should point out, whenever you see this list, Michael did that in 15 seasons. Okay? 15.
Yeah.
Everybody out, LeBron's in year 22, Kareem with 20, right?
But KD did it in less shots. There's that. Yeah, he's more efficient.
But I guess the big question, and I ask you guys this, is like, do you feel at the All-Star break, I would have said that, look, there's no chance I could see LeBron wearing a Lakers uniform next season. But he looks like he's just having so much fun with these guys. They finally figured out the trio and everything. I don't know.
I can say I really think that there's the sense I have is that this idea of playing for $50 million anywhere is probably gone.
Right.
But if he's willing to play for less, if that fits with what they're trying to do, I think that door is open.
Yeah, because they got to balance the Austin situation too, and still being able to fill out the rest.
Yeah,
of the
like right now, it's almost like he'd be reversing roles with Austin in terms of salary.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, we'll see. Certainly keep an eye on that as the offseason looms. But we got playoffs and the regular season still first to finish. So let's get to top of the top. KD passing MJ. Got our producer.